We start with our key question to the panel. Latest polls show Americans do not want a Trump versus Biden rematch. The question here, do you agree? Do you agree they don't want it, Johanna, or do you agree they're going to get it?
So the trouble for Biden is that I think Democrats are looking forward to this as much as we look forward to a colonoscopy. The issue is it's uncomfortable to talk about in mixed company. It is something that I think a lot of Democrats think we have to do because we're so worried about Donald Trump and the likelihood that someone who almost overthrew our democracy getting so close to that ballot. And so they think, well, he's going to beat Trump, and so they're going to put him on the top ticket. So it's going to happen.
We will go ladies first. Out of line. Go ahead, Morgan.
Thank you.
I think what really matters is primary voters in these early states on both sides of the aisle. I kind of feel like every 4 years that we talk about this. Do the voters really want a rematch of whoever the general election candidates are? And people are unsatisfied. But at the end of the day, what the general population in America thinks about the two of them doesn't really matter. What matters is what voters in early primary states think, because they're the ones that are going to be nominating them. And Biden's going to have to deal with blunders, with age, with inflation, and with war on his watch, and a terrible economy, likely a recession, most people predicting going into next year. So people are going to be forced to ask themselves, if you're paying around $6,000 more a family is, more this year for goods and services versus what you were paying in the Trump administration, are you willing to hold your nose and vote for someone with a better economy?
I think it's better than a colonoscopy. So I'll liken it to Applebee's. Many Americans do not want to eat at Applebee's.
Oh, really?
But
wait a minute.
many of them will do it anyway, because that's what will be at the exit when they're driving along, and it will be what's available, and they'll do it. Joe Biden is not popular with Democrats compared to Barack Obama. Joe Biden's not popular with Democrats compared to a lot of people, but he's what they've got. And I've likened Biden and Trump before to Batman and the Joker. Yeah. They need each other. So the argument for Joe Biden's candidacy and the argument for his presidency is this is the person who they think persuadable voters, suburbanites, will go for. These are what swing voters will go for. They have proof of concept of that from 2022, and what Biden delivered for Democrats in 2022 and what Trump did to Republicans in 2022 is exactly what Democrats hope goes right into 2024.
Morgan, are there any Republicans who are flipping that script on its head and saying the main reason not to nominate Donald Trump is because he has already lost? Therefore, we know the Democrats are going to run Joe Biden. We have to run somebody else.
Yes, I have to quickly say, as a former Applebee's waitress, that the Fiesta Lime Chicken is fantastic.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Okay, so we've got Applebee's, Fiesta Lime Chicken, and colonoscopies in the first 5 minutes of the Hill.
This is a great
Congratulations to you all.
So you have someone on tonight who might be trying to flip the script in your exclusive interview with Mike Pence. You have Nikki Haley running. You have Tim Scott, who's basically announced his exploratory committee. And there could be others, we'll see. So there is certainly people. DeSantis is the big one in Japan. Hasn't announced yet, but sucking up a lot of the oxygen. So President Trump is going to have to deal with the primary. The big question is, will he be able to knock everyone off like he did in 2016? So far, with the indictment and the investigations, he continues to be able to suck all of the media oxygen out of the room. And so it doesn't matter what you're doing in an early primary state, like Nikki Haley was down on the border when the arraignment was happening, and she got like zero press coverage.
Yeah, you'd have to add in, just to be fair, Vivek Ramaswamy, Asa Hutchinson as well. Oh, I forgot. I'm sure they Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.